They've been wearing the Kneecap jersey and they haven't lost, so hopefully next year Kneecap can sponsor Derry.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's great to be here with you, DJ Próvaí, here in Dalymount.
Come on, Louise.
I was going to start by asking you about your relationship with Bose, because it's got to be kind of complicated given your local allegiance and then obviously your connection with Bose.
Yeah, so obviously my connection with Bose is Mr. Dan Lambert. Obviously he's our manager in Kneecap, and he has me down here doing this today.
Yeah.
You know, he's pulling favours. But I'm from Derry City. I'm a proud Derry City man. So the last time Bose were up, they were very bad boys, setting off fireworks and causing trouble. Yeah. But no, do you know what? The club is brilliant, and what it does for the community is amazing. So I tip my hat to them for that. And they've been wearing the Kneecap jersey and they haven't lost in it. So hopefully next year Kneecap can sponsor Derry.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Tell me, what is the first album you remember kind of growing up that had a big impact on you?
Maybe of a Sunday morning you would hear like my dad, maybe his mates downstairs or on a Saturday night, and they would have the records on the LP, and it would be Four Green Fields by the Flying Column, and it's just full of bangers really. You know, it starts off with Misha Era, you know, that Misha Era, Shinamena and Chailach Bera, and it goes through like the whole poetry of it, and then like it's into the rebel rousers, and then you've got like traditional music in there. You've got Roisin Du in there. You've got Boulavogue. Yeah. So they have Seamus Heaney's poetry at the start of it, and then it breaks into Boulavogue. Yeah. But there's some great songs on that album. So if you get a chance to listen to it, do.
And would you say that that type of music feeds into what you guys do now as Kneecap?
Yeah, I suppose it comes from like there's a rebellious spirit in Irish music and Irish folk music, and Irish folk music was the way to keep the real history of Ireland alive whenever the Brits were trying to rewrite it. You know, when you see that in a lot of the textbooks in schools and that, but there's a different history being taught in Irish language schools. It's the Gaelic school where you're learning your own history, but that's how people get their life, in the folk music and in the poetry, and that's why they tried to wipe it out, but it's still here.
So what about hip hop? Because obviously there's so much hip hop in Kneecap. What is a hip hop album that's had an impact on you?
The Slim Shady LP. I remember when it came out the first time, there was a place in Derry called the Indoor Markets, and they used to sell like 3 CDs for $5 under the table. Yeah. And I went down and bought 3, and one of them was Slim Shady LP, and I remember having to turn it down every time my ma came up the stairs. You know, but just having that kind of stuff that you're not allowed to listen to when you're a teenager. You wouldn't have been allowed to listen? No. Was your mom strict about what you kind of consumed in terms of media? Just when you're like 12 or something, and you're like Guilty Conscience is a mad fucking song. And yeah, so things like that. And obviously like hip hop goes hand in hand with the kind of storytelling culture of Ireland. Like a lot of the old rebel music in Ireland kind of similar to hip hop. It's got the same kind of storytelling and the same 4/4 rhythm. Like, yeah. So. What about electronic music? Because when you're kind of coming up with stuff for Kneecap, that has to be fed from stuff you've listened to, right? Yeah, I suppose bands like Prodigy. Yeah. Like you still listen to Prodigy today if you're ever getting pumped to go out and play a gig, or that's some of our kind of pre-show ritual, be listening to stuff like that. And maybe we'll come around to Damien Dempsey, but Damien Dempsey was like right before we go on to sing The Colony. Just get a big rabble-rousing version of the Colony. Yeah. All 7 or 8 minutes of it, but I've kind of meshed 2 together there. Yeah, well, that's my favourite Damien Dempsey song. Always gets me going. Always makes me cry, actually. Yeah. Like fires you up and somehow you're weeping at the same time. Yeah, so if you ever go to Damien's Vicar Street shows, it's like it's like a spiritual experience. You get all these grown people hugging each other and crying their eyeballs out. Yeah. Crying their eyeballs out? Crying their eyes out. It works. I went to a demo gig in Ballymun once, and it was one of the most powerful things I've ever seen, because it was mostly men, and mostly like middle-aged men, and emoting at this like really intense level in a way that I'd never seen before. He does something really special to people, I think, Damo. What do you listen to at the moment? Lots of Fontaines. Yeah. Go back, obviously Romance and Doggerel and all. It's just banger after banger. And Green and the lads are such good writers and brilliant live as well. Fontaines was probably the most recently.
There's a real relationship between your two bands as well, isn't there? It seems quite special.
Yeah, so we'd be friendly with the lads, and you always kind of meet at the same festivals and into the green room and have a bit of crack, and the party continues afterwards, you know, but they're class lads and great musicians.
I want to ask you about one more. Is there anything, if you're trying to relax, like maybe you're trying to relax after a show or, you know, for any other reason, any reason you might want to relax, what are you listening to?
Maybe a wee bit of Damien Rice, go back, throwback to O.
Yeah.
Stick on the whole O album and listen to that. That's whenever I started kind of playing guitar and stuff, it was Damien Rice. O was out at the time, so you know it word for word. And it's really relaxing, most of it. Yeah. So when you get into Volcano and stuff like that, it's kind of that more energetic, but that or some classical music.
Yeah, lovely. What kind of classical music do you like?
I just stick on classic FM and then listen to so you get some Vivaldi Spring, or I suppose at this time of the year especially.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of that when I'm trying to get my kids to go to sleep. That's where that comes in.
Yeah, so I stick it on for breakfast whenever Louine's go downstairs. We're like, right, it's chill time.
Let's get the vibe going. I love it. And yeah, also for me, if they're fighting in the car, I turn that on really loud. Yeah. It actually works.
Good Donegal Gaeltacht woman as well.
The sure look. There you go. Well, look, Louise.
Louise.